evening, my name's Alex Campbell.
I'm Jasper.
And you're watching Expanding on the Expanse. So we're over with Julie Mao witnessing the proto-molecule on this. What is the...
I mean, we haven't established that it's a proto-molecule.
We haven't established anything. We just opened with...
If you're paying attention, you realise that chick is actually Julie Mao, and that was established when Miller gets the case.
Yeah, I don't think I put it together at that point.
Yeah.
It just opens with this frantic Asian lady in this intense sequence trying to escape a cell, and then floating in zero-G through a ship.
Suit. Yeah.
Yep, to the old, what's it called? The center of the ship that powers it?
The reactor.
The reactor, and we see this thing absorbing people.
Yes, it just screams.
Later on, obviously, this whole season wraps up that storyline, so it's a nice little bookend.
Yeah.
The end of this season is pretty much the reveal, spoilers of her death.
Yeah.
And it's opened with the...
It was like a book.
It was a book.
Yeah.
And they bookend the show with bookends.
Yeah.
But it was a book. But now it's a show. And it still is a book. And
Still is a very,
show.
very good book.
Yeah, true.
The way I got onto it was by looking, after reading Game of Thrones, I went like, I want Game of Thrones but in space.
Yeah.
And this is what the internet recommended to me.
Okay. I tried to see if it was on YouTube, but they only had part 2 of the first book. So I need to somehow...
So if you sign up, I believe this is the case, right? If you sign up for Amazon Prime, you get the Amazon Prime thing. It's like $12 a month, same thing as Netflix. You also get Amazon Prime. You get your Amazon Video, you get your free shipping on Amazon Prime products, you get Audible, and you get Amazon Music, and you also get a Twitch account.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon.
It's just, it's fairly like, it's a pretty good deal, really.
But don't they keep their staff members in cages, Jasper?
Do we care? Are you kept in a cage?
No.
Some Mexican lady in America, who cares?
And then we get into it. You fucking racist, Jasper. And then we get introduced to our neo-noir cop on the fucking station solving all these crimes. He's got his little fedora on because it keeps the rain off his head. Old Miller. And straight away, his whole arc is centered around his infatuation with Julie Mao.
Yeah, he basically falls in love with her.
Yeah, and like his story kind of ends with him like finding her.
But doesn't it? Yeah, well, I mean, you seem to be jumping ahead here. We're just talking about the first episode, aren't we?
It's hard for me to just talk about the first episode because it's 45 minutes of a 80-hour story.
Yeah.
And it's like all the little setups for these moments. It's not like a story unto itself.
No, that's true. Yeah.
It's the setup for
it's just the setup.
all these amazing things. So I was watching The Expanse, right?
Yeah.
And I got like halfway through season 1, I'm like, yeah. I got like to the end of season 1, I'm like,
I compared it to like it was like what I wanted from Doctor Who. It's not a huge budget, but there's a bunch of shit that happens. It's like, holy fuck, like the flip and burn sequence. The first episode is amazing.
Yeah.
Especially because it's a piece of shit rock hauler that's all fucked and
to
break. And
the world building just in this first episode is amazing. It's all crime ridden and green. Well, the belt is all crime ridden and grungy and broken.
That whole sequence, right, in this episode where it's got the voiceover of the guy riling up the crowd. It's like telling them how the belt's been oppressed, and and as it gives you like a point of view from a little drone being flown through the space station. It was fucking great. Just that little scene, because it's perfect. It gave you all of the visuals and all of the like exposition that you needed.
The political unrest, and tension, and the violence,
without having to fucking
poverty,
drag you through like scene after scene of people just like regurgitating
looking down the lens and saying, the belt suffers from poverty. There is political unrest between Earth and Mars.
Like the next show we're going to review.
Well, it's funny you say that, because the showrunner for this show was a writer on Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Voyager. Okay. And the showrunner for Picard was not a showrunner.
Nothing at all.
So that I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
This well-written show, this guy who comes from Star Trek, this terrible show. We're talking about Picard, by the way.
Yeah, next is Picard.
Snakes. That's all we are to the Earthers and Dusters. They built their solar system on our backs. Spit the blood of 1,000,000 of our brothers, but
straight up, the cinematography is very unique as well. All the colors are muted and either blue tones or sepia tones. It's high contrast. I guess it matches the themes of what's going on.
Yeah,
it's not bright and colorful.
There's
it's
all
all
the lens flare and stuff going on.
Yeah. I'm an avid supporter of models as well. I'm always fucking CGI. They should do Lord of the Rings, but all the CGI ship design, it looks great.
Yeah. You can tell it's CG.
Yeah, but the design, it works.
Yeah.
I don't need it to look like Blade Runner 2049. It's a fucking television show on sci-fi and then.
Well, no, it was Netflix, wasn't it, or was it sci-fi?
It was sci-fi, which I think is a channel on television.
Cable.
I don't know.
Yeah,
and then that
we call that Foxtel, right? Yeah.
And
the old people fucking Foxtel.
And then they cancelled it, and then Amazon picked it up, which is a streaming service. We're living in a new age.
And Amazon's just throwing fucking money at it.
Oh, season 4.
Yeah. you got no idea what's coming, eh?
Well, in the books.
Yeah. Presumably because they seem to be following the books fairly well. Season 4, there's a few little things here and there, but you can see why they didn't do them. And I was a little bit dubious at first because it looked like they were gonna change a whole bunch of shit so as it would be easier and they wouldn't have to show you what happened in the book.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They did most of it.
Yeah. True. Yeah. So my progression of watching this show, I got to the end of season 1, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And I got halfway through season 2, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And the conclusion of season 3, I'm like, holy fuck, what is happening here? The end of season 3 kind of sets up the premise for the show.
Yeah. It doesn't start until then.
Yeah. So all right, the show's started now. I'm like, what the fuck? And then season 4 just tells a story. But anyway, we're not talking about season 4. So we get introduced to our main protagonist in this, Holden. He's very dismissive of responsibility and
that's been his whole life up until now. Yeah,
he goes on this whole fucking arc. He needs to help everyone and save everyone, and eventually he gets horribly jaded by the horror scene. He's trying to hunt down the proto-molecule and destroy it, and he does all this fucked up shit. Yeah. And he comes around from that, and then he's like, no, we're not gonna destroy it. I'm all good now.
And then he goes down to that fucking planet and gets fucked up.
I just watched the whole thing and then kind of came back to season 1, so it's interesting to see where all the pieces are and how they move forward. But it's interesting.
It's a fucking great show.
It's a great show.
It's a great book too.
I shall definitely listen to them before I die.
We got to do Hyperion.
Is that a book?
Yeah, it's a trilogy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you probably told me about it.
It's like it's like The Expanse, except there's also aliens and time travel.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's full on.
It's pretty fucking full on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should start reading more. Or listening to all.
Well, I said we should review it.
Okay.
We'll do a chapter at a time and review a chapter at a time.
Yeah. Better than reviewing Picard. So another great element that really stuck out to me initially was just the treacherous nature of space travel in this.
Well, it's realistic.
Yeah, you watch Star Trek and Star Wars, space travel isn't really a thing. In this, it's treacherous. It's filled with suspense.
So that's sort of the whole point. So this is what they call hard sci-fi. To an extent, it gets pretty fantasy-ish.
Yeah.
But Yeah, so the space travel works under like known laws of physics, and that's sort of the whole point is that you've got the humans and their known laws of physics, and all of their stuff works off of like classical physics essentially.
Yeah.
Like rocket science is not as as complicated as what like people think it is. Not saying that I'm a fucking rocket scientist.
Just like a combustion engine.
Yeah, it's you throw shit out the back and you go forward.
Energy.
There's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
And then you got the protomolecule, which is just doing stuff that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. Like at the end of season 4, it just stops the fusion reactions from working. Like, I guess the laws of physics just don't apply here anymore. Like, okay.
Yeah, like the slow zone where everybody just
that whole fucking
man.
3 or 4 episodes at the end of
that's a whole
3.
book.
Yeah,
it's a whole fucking book.
Just that moment.
Just basically, they're trapped out there because they go through the ring. So first off, they've got to get out to Saturn, right? Which is months of travel. To begin with, right? Because they're at fucking Earth, and it's relativistic travel. It's not relativistic travel. That's like close to speed of light. It's not relativistic. It's like fucking normal fusion reactors, which we don't have yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it takes them months to get out to Saturn, and then they can pass through the ring. And then they go so far into the ring and get slowed down, and so it's for them to then turn around and get back to the ring at the speed that the slow zone has slowed them down to. It's going to be years. So that's trapped in the situation for a whole fucking book.
Holden goes in the thing and with his hand in the thing. Have you seen, it reminded me a lot of Star Trek 1. Have you seen Star Trek 1? The motion picture?
I have, but I don't know.
So the plot of that is the Enterprise encounters an alien thing.
Yes.
Basically, they fly up to it and Spock flies into it, and that's the movie. It's really, it's like 2001: A Space Odyssey, kind of.
Very, very
slow, grindy, it very much reminded me of like Holden going into that thing and traveling through all the stuff.
But we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the first episode. I love how they torture that Belter guy too, just by keeping him in like 1G gravity. They hold him up and his body's just breaking down.
Fucked up.
Yeah, that's great.
So they seem to lean out of the Belter thing with the really tall people. As it progresses, they sort of tried that a bit. There's a bunch of things where in this, especially in this first episode even, like that scene we're debating about that song when they first introduced the rock hauler shit that they have. I forget what it's called.
The
Canterbury, that's it. When they first introduced the Canterbury, it plays a song, and we were debating whether or not it was a newer song or an older song. We weren't sure. But that's not really the same tone as the rest of the show. Like it definitely feels like they're trying out a bunch of different things. In this episode and trying to find where the tone of the show is.
And it definitely picks up and evolves and changes as it goes. Those good shows do. No shows tonally stay. Well, some shows I guess do. Seinfeld.
Monk.
CSI. Still just solving crimes. The ending is fucking amazing too. Just the destruction of the Canterbury and that emotional and narrative beat that just hits home for all our main characters. And I like the way that all our main characters, it's just random happenstance that they went on that mission and they survived and then they go through all this shit and they become people we're following.
That's one of the criticisms that can be leveled at the Expanse series in general is that there's a lot more plot armor than something like Game of Thrones. Like it is a space opera on a grand scale. similar to something like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more plot armor involved.
Yeah, I kind of give that a free pass. Most of the stuff
You do.
Next Gen doesn't just kill off people.
You end up giving it a free pass because it's so
good. I mean, there's lots of elements you give a free pass. Like, it's very events driven. It's about the narrative marching forward with this next fucking crazy, outrageous set of circumstances just fucking flying in the face of everyone. And the characters are kind of there, and they're doing the thing, and they're likable, and the actors are good, and they have little character moments and little arcs and little
but it
things.
it doesn't like that's not the focus of the whole show.
It's
not about fucking
this
he said, she said,
this is happening.
that person sleeping with this person. It's not about fucking all
it's
that
like
bullshit.
Mars just launched a fucking attack on Earth and blew up fucking 80 million people. So basically in conclusion, it's a bit of a slow burn. I mean, I think most good shows are.
To begin with, it's a bit of a slow burn. It's sort of like, it's a low budget. To begin with, it's low budget. The dialogue is a little bit stilted. That it grows on you. I know when I first watched it, it was like, do I like this or do I not like this?
Yeah,
like,
Steve had a problem with the Belter's accent as well.
Yeah. And so but as it grows, it develops into a fucking show. Yeah,
like I said, there are like several moments where I like just went to the next one.
Yeah.
So basically, if you haven't seen it,
go watch it.
Yeah, watch the first season.
Yeah.
Then watch the second season. Then watch the third season. Then watch the fourth season. Then listen to the audiobooks.
It is significantly better than Picard.
It's like that. It's refreshing for a piece of media to actually be good, and for me.
Alright, so you know what's actually good? Might actually be good. Like it might actually be a good show.
I do not, Jasper.
The Witcher.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, Steve said that to me. He was like, Steve was like, yeah, I'm actually unironically enjoying this without being stoned. Okay, and I started watching it, and it's actually like that's part of the reason why I didn't get any sleep last night is because I stayed up a little bit too late watching The Witcher. It's actually like good. Yeah, well, I'm paying $13 a month for fucking Netflix, so I guess I might as well watch it. Yeah, it's like I remember it exploding and the internet waffling on about, but I was like, I haven't played the game. I looked at it. I had played the third one, and I got like halfway through, and I'm like, and then I saw it. I watched the first like 15 minutes of the first episode, and he like fights this thing in a swamp, and it's really dodgy. The CG looks like shit. I'm like,
oh really?
Yeah, it's
Netflix
not done.
have heaps of money.
Yeah, but it's like a big tentacle monster. And like to show the physicality of somebody with a sword actually fighting a tentacle monster doesn't really work.
But it doesn't really work on screen.
Yeah.
About that scene.
It looks shit. But after that, it looks fucking amazing. The choreography, the sword play and stuff. None of it makes any sense. But it's sort of so cool that I don't mind. Whereas usually I'm the guy that's like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Whereas this, he's
it
like, he's doing
depends on like the tone and the context.
Well, the tone is high fantasy. Like the first village he goes to has a wizard's tower, and there's a wizard in the tower, and he goes and talks to the wizard, and then a bunch of shit happens.
That's it.
Yeah, it's high fantasy.
Alright, I might give it a go.
Yeah.
Once I get over the experience. Thank you for watching. Remember, guys, live stream and got all the facts on how opinions are null and void. Thank you, and good night. Now we're gonna go watch Picard. Bye.